And with the track at the Catherine Hall Stadium still out of commission, there could be an alternative out west, and stakeholders are lobbying for the upgrade of its track. Denise Walters has the details.
At least two stakeholders are calling for future Western Championships and other development athletics events to be staged in Western Jamaica on a synthetic track. This as too many athletes are not making the qualifying standards for the ISA Boys and Girls Athletics Championships. And they think there's a solution.
We need to have a track, a chevron track in Trelawney, because I believe having a chevron track in Trelawney will better prepare the athletes for this type of competition outside of the parish. Well, the Trelawney Multipurpose Stadium would be a good place, but nothing is wrong if William Nib gets a track, because it's a central school within the Western region.
When it comes down to champs, we need our athletes to perform on a synthetic track, something similar to what they are going to perform on at the National Stadium. If it is going to be in Trelawney at the Greenfield Stadium, we have to now maybe put down a 300-meter track or something that will up to a certain standard that these athletes can perform on.
ISA President Keith Wellington calls it a disappointment having to stage the Western Championships outside of that side of the island.
And when we come here to have our schools competing against each other, we are taking away the sport, not just from the venues, but we're taking it away from the families. We are taking it away from the students. We are taking away the opportunities for them to support their schools. We are taking away the opportunity from the athletes to participate in their home environment where they have the support of their families, their schoolmates and so on. And it does not help with the development of the sport. And for us to have to be doing this for years up on top of years is really, really sad.
Wellington notes it's part of a difficulty for sports overall in Jamaica.
Because the infrastructure for sports is not there. We don't invest in sports development. Many persons want to come in at the back end when the success is evident and people have made all the sacrifice to get to the very top. That is when people are offering support to our athletes, and it's not good enough.
And with the Western Championships being staged in St. Catherine for the second year running, sports manager at Mushet High, Trillon Johnson, explains the prohibitive cost associated with traveling that far to compete in qualifying meets.
It costs a whole lot. We have to think about lunches. We have to think about transportation. Normally, if it was in the West, we would get lunch from the school itself. And now we have to purchase lunch and even breakfast. So it takes a lot out of our budget, and it is a burden. And to the powers that be, I hope that something is done to have this competition in the West.
Added to that, there's also an important cog in the wheel when it comes to the 12th man.
What we would love is to have the track meet in the Western region, where more parents and supporters can come out to support the different schools.
However, it's not that simple, as it's a familiar song and cry for parent Floyd Wint, who traveled from Bounty Hall, Trelawney, to support his son Joshua Wint, who was second in the boys' Class 1 for 100 meters.
It's quite expensive, costs a couple $1,000 so to be here. But the journey coming here is something that I wanted to take because I wanted to support the team.
So right now, have enough parents from the didn't want to come, didn't want to attend the Western Champs. But they can't come so far. Away from Trelawney to come and St. Catherine. It costs a lot of money. It costs me, we check up on a bus this morning, $1,700, $1,700. And plus me pay another
11:15.31 for
the driver
February Lewis.
The driver left me out of one place, named Angel, at Spanish Town. I have to take a next taxi again and pay another $150 to come near to GC faster.
Denise Walters for TVJ Sports.
All right, we're up on half time. We go to a break on Saturday Sports Special. We'll be back with more.